welcome to Shiley, and then I thought we'd go around the room and talk about your name, your business idea, and why you're here.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's going to be great. I'm going to say a few things, and then yes, and I love that. We can do that. We've got a nice, intimate crowd on here. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Shiley Hakimian, and yes, this is Leveraging LinkedIn for Small Business. And I'm going to press the present button. Awesome. Let's see. So I had everyone fill out on the note card your name and what you hope to get out of this, and I'm also curious to hear what you wrote down too. If you have a name pronunciation like mine, Shiley is a very funny one to read. You can write that in there as well. Let's see, what am I going to say? Yes, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I want to hear, like Maura said, I want to hear kind of what brought you in today. And we do have a small group here, so maybe like a 20-second, like, what do you hope to get out of this? Some things that you wanted to take away from today. And can I start with you?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So my name is Christian Morales. I'm actually a project consultant for James Construction. We're a professional services construction firm.
Awesome.
We're going into our 4th year.
Fantastic. And what brought you here today for this thing?
Here for the LinkedIn event, so leveraging it for small businesses.
Absolutely. But what particularly, you're like, I want to leave here with something crazy. Is there anything that came up? You're like,
more so just expanding the network.
Expanding the network.
Learning how to use it for that purpose.
Love that. Expanding the network. Awesome. Great. I love that. And over here, yes, tell us your name and a little nugget about you and what brought you here today.
Electrical contracting union business that specializes in lighting retrofit for commercial and industrial businesses.
Wow.
And I am WBE and DBE certified. I'm looking to, I don't have a LinkedIn page for my business, just my personal self. I just talk about my business on my personal page. So I need to build a LinkedIn page for my business and see if my current one is okay.
Ah, great. So you want to see how that goes for you and how to improve it or what to look at. Awesome. So I'm glad you have a page. Awesome. Yes. Hello. Welcome. Tell us a little about you. Oh, please. You're my people standing up for intros.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ann Behrens, and I have a company called AMB Procures. And I focus on fixing supply chain problems like maybe high cost of supplier services or supplier performance issues. And so I usually tell people I fix supply chains. But it's a very small advisory firm. I have been on LinkedIn professionally for a couple of years now, and
yes.
I'm not getting enough prospects.
Oh,
so
for prospects.
The specific question is, how do I improve my ability to get prospects? And in particular, I've spent some time and money creating articles versus just sharing posts.
Oh, I heard about you a little bit.
The reverse. Oh, you did? Okay.
I heard a little bit.
I
was good for
reaction. I thought I'd get more interest and more targeted audience, and I'm getting the opposite. So I just need to understand how to fix that and maybe even leverage videos as well.
Yes, video. Love it. Awesome. Thank you for that. Back there, please tell us a little more about what brought you in today and, yeah, little nuggets about you. Short and sweet.
I'm in the financial services business. What brought me in is I have tried to learn LinkedIn on my own. And even though I've seen presentations and I have set up a business page, I still am not putting in all the content the way it's supposed to be put in. And I still don't know how to connect with different businesses.
Awesome. Thank you.
So I just want to learn as much as I can.
Awesome. I'm hearing a lot of stuff about connection and how we can connect with people online. My friend over here with the lovely red top.
My name is Hannah. I am in experiential and digital marketing. And what brought me here is I would like to learn how to leverage my LinkedIn page as my pre-website. So how do I get the most out of my LinkedIn page in lieu of a website?
Interesting. There's definitely a lot to do there. Okay, that's a big thing I've been thinking about a lot this week. And I know both of you are WBDC, but like any other nuggets you want to share with everybody about your piece and all this?
So in entrepreneurial services, I will meet with you to talk about your LinkedIn profile. I usually use it as an extension of your resume.
Oh.
And, yes, and use it for B2B links, B2B connection.
Love that. That's a great resource.
Are you here to learn more?
I'm here to learn more, but also I just know that right now, in terms of LinkedIn, it's kind of resurfacing as a resource for businesses, plus, you know, just your average everyday person as a resume. You know, it's kind of getting even more popular than Facebook. It's kind of another avenue, like if you're kind of, because people at this point are kind of not tired of Facebook, but I feel like sometimes you can get a little bit more traction through LinkedIn, and it's just a matter of
Yes, you can. Oh, man. Yes, so many things there. You're on the money. There's a lot of reach you can do on LinkedIn. I love hearing about all these different things. I'm hearing about how we can connect with people, some thought leadership pieces, some literally how to use LinkedIn. There's a variety of different experiences that I'm hearing. Actually, there's a little slide I have right here. I ask you, what stage are you with your LinkedIn? So some people might be a caterpillar who are just starting out and trying to get their feelers on how this goes. Some folks are in the cocoon and they kind of have their game going but are not totally confident. And then we have some butterflies in the room who are like, I love LinkedIn, I'm already on it. How do I make more of it? So, and hello, welcome. Is anybody okay with it saying if they're a caterpillar? Anybody in this room a caterpillar that's just starting out with LinkedIn is a little nervous? We have a little bit of a caterpillar. Thank you for sharing that. Hello, welcome. Come grab a seat, everybody. What about somebody who's in the cocoon who kind of feels like they have their game going but could always kind of refresh? We have my friend in the back. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Very cool over here as well. Very cool. I know who feels like they're a butterfly. They feel like they know how to do LinkedIn, but they just want to just keep blowing up. Awesome. So we have a few of those in the room. Great. I'm going to tap into some of those experiences and knowledges throughout this. If you're like, oh my gosh, I should add something to this, please share. I might try to wrangle in the conversation as needed, but I want to share all the knowledge and the ideas in the room because we are all exploring the internet in completely different ways. So awesome. Thank you all for sharing that. Let's see. Oh, I value everyone's time here. It is a non-renewable resource. You only get so much of it, and you can't always get it back, so I appreciate you all choosing to come spend it all with me here and the WBDC. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. I tend to talk a little fast. If I'm talking too fast, you can give me a wink. Even more, if you give me a wink if I'm talking too fast, I will happily adjust. I know, right? Just slow. This is my life goal between now and the end of the year. So I am talking slower than hopefully I was last year.
Are you a native New Yorker?
No, I'm not. I grew up in the suburbs. And now I live in Lakeview. So I'm just excited about all the things. Let's see. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about my crazy adventure. So my story is this. I was on MySpace, remember MySpace back in the day, and my crazy hobby community was trying to promote our own activities on the internet, but we tended to spam the wrong MySpace groups, and it was awful. Like, who knows those spammers, right? Who's seen spammers on MySpace group or Facebook groups, all that stuff? People posting, buy my thing. Like, we were kind of becoming spammers. I'm like, why are we spamming other pages that aren't our community? Why don't we just have our own page for our own community? So I started a MySpace group for my hobby thing, which you can ask me about later. And I ended up managing that as a 15, 16, 17-year-old. Now, how does this play into my life today? Well, I was applying for a job at an agency that had a lot of work in social media, and on the application, they asked me, have you ever managed online communities before? Now, I was post-college. It's been a long time since I was in high school, and I'm like, have I managed online communities before? And it hit me like a ton of bricks that what I was doing on MySpace was super early social media skills, long before the term social media was really a thing. And that led me to lots of adventures to get me here today. I've done social media for nonprofits, for restaurants, for food groups. I've worked one-on-one with solo business owners. Lots of great adventures since then. And I'm glad to be here with you all today. Oh, and I studied education in college, so I love teaching. I love workshops. I love speaking. And how I got to doing what I do today, which is a lot of one-on-one, I was pitching my services to a BNI group. Does anyone know BNI? People network, they share each other's businesses and stuff like that. And there's a group that I frequent, and I said, hey, like, I do social media, but that audience wasn't really ready to hire me for what I do. But somebody was like, Shiley, can you just sit down with me one-on-one and teach me how to do what you do? And I was like, absolutely, I actually love doing that. So then I started really teaching people how to do social media. That's social media teacher. So here I am today. Let's see. Let's see. Oops, looking at my notes. Awesome. Oh, and a little bit of something I do now. Has anyone ever heard of Leah Niederthal? Anyone seen her on LinkedIn? You've seen her. So Leah is a coach on the internet. She sells courses teaching people how to do LinkedIn. And I recently connected with her to become her community's LinkedIn coach for her customers. So that's something that I'm doing now. And the reason I was able to work with this client is because she saw what I was doing on LinkedIn, especially with my crazy LinkedIn videos. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. So what you'll leave here today, so I see a lot of different backgrounds here. You're gonna get an overview of how social media actually works. You're gonna get a new profile and description, just to look a little more lovely. If you have a laptop, great. No pressure if you don't. If you have a cell phone, that's great too. Pen and paper, I've got note cards too. You're gonna leave with some new ideas for that. You'll look more interesting online, because who doesn't want to look more interesting on the internet? Some ideas of what to post, and then maybe some feedback from your peers in here on how to make your profile look extra awesome. Now, I can't cover absolutely everything today. There's probably an 8-hour presentation in here, but I'm not gonna give you the 8-hour. I gotta give you a snippet today. So I do have some Q&A in there. I want you to ask questions throughout. Sometimes I'm gonna take the questions as we're going. Sometimes I might tell you to hold off. But I want to make sure your questions get answered, and we can talk about all the other stuff that we can't get to today. Sound good? Awesome. Let's see. Oh, my butterfly emoji didn't go in, but it's okay. So we did a little bit about why y'all are in the room. I know some people just walked in. We'll learn a little bit about you throughout. I have a social media reality check. I have lots of LinkedIn nuggets. We're going to update our profiles, maybe work together on that. We'll see how timing goes. Some Q&A, which we can do throughout. And some Skillshare as well for some of you who have different ideas, different perspectives. I want to soak all that in. A little bit about what I do. I'm going to grab your feedback and tell you how you can get a copy of these slides, which you haven't seen yet, but there's a lot of goodies in there. And also how my 63-year-old dad cracked WhatsApp as his social media platform for his business, and how that all can relate to you all. So a little bit about what's going to go down. Social media reality check. This is my fun. This is my extra thing. So this is something that I want to tell people when I talk to folks about social media, what they really need to know. So it's less about the technology and that is going on. It's not about the platform as much. There's a lot of universal things that can take you on social media, whether this platform, LinkedIn, exists today or not, today, tomorrow, in 10 years, whatever that looks like. It's about your relationships. It's about the connections you're making with people. It's a way for you to maintain your relationships. So I know you know a lot of folks. I'm sure you have a lot of connections, right? Your LinkedIn is a chance for you to see them and to be seen by them when you're not in the room, and when you can't personally phone call all of them to stay in touch. And it's also a way that you can build trust with people. You don't get the chance, like we do today, to all see each other face to face. You can't shake everyone's hand, but your LinkedIn is doing some of that work for you, and it's gonna build up trust for your people that you wanna work with. Social media generally does not have to be nauseating or stressful. Is anyone nauseated and stressful by social media? If you're willing to share, no. Some people are like, oh, social media sucks. It can be fun, right? You're like, I feel, it's like, oh, I have to post, what's gonna happen? It doesn't have to be awful. There's a way to have fun with it, and hopefully we can tap into that a little bit more today. And something that a lot of teachers will say, like, find your audience. Audiences take a lot of time to build. It takes every individual relationship. Maybe it's connecting to someone here. It takes years and so many connections in real life to take your LinkedIn to the next level. And I'm going to go over this in more detail. So you don't have to know absolutely everything about social media platforms. What I do is I test all the time. So what you're going to be doing today, you're going to get a lot of ideas. You're going to play with stuff. Not everything's going to work right away, and not everything's going to be right for everyone, but it's important to experiment. I always say social media is like going to a clothing store. You're going to try something on, you look in the mirror, you do the little dance. Does it feel good? Does it feel weird? See how it works. Because if you're not excited about it, believe me, the people who are going to be seeing you are not going to be excited about it either. So try to make it fun. And the last thing, because I've worked with so many people, I've realized everyone always comes to me and they're like, Shiley, like, I'm awful. I'm probably the worst person you've ever seen at social media. And the fact that you're even here already tells me you're not the worst person. And chances are you know way more than you realize. So give yourself a pat on the back for everything you've learned thus far today. You know more than you think. So it's my little bit of my LinkedIn or social media reality check. We're going to go into depth a little more. Let's see. Oh, and this is something big. The power of social media is built upon real activity. It's about the real connections you're making, whether it be face-to-face, via other online communities, or beyond. It is huge. So I'm going to show you a little bit about this LinkedIn video story that I told you. When I say it's about connections, this is the thing that can transcend both LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, whatever platform is going to come in 10 years. The real connections you have here every day that you see, that you connect with, that translates directly on the internet. These are not magical unicorns that fell from the sky that are like, I want to buy your thing. You can get there, but that takes a lot of time. I look at this video, here's a bunch of people that liked my post, and I can tell you each one of these people came from a completely different network. This person I met at a co-working space. This person is a home chef, and she's wonderful. And I met her at a networking event, and she ended up cooking a very fancy home chef meal for somebody I know, and it was awesome. This person I went to college with. This person has a cancer magazine that's changing lives and teaching people how to be well when they have cancer. This person is a social media influencer in a very niche political space on the internet. All these people I've built relationships with for years and years and years, and it reflects in how many people are engaging and liking with the content. And that's something that is so secret in business, whether it's people you see every day, whether it's people you see online, it all connects, and those relationships can transcend any platform. Any thoughts on this? Does that make, this is the biggest thesis I have in all of my social media. I want to make sure I hit that home. Yes, the other parts of this are playing, what? Yes, okay, oh, sorry, you're asking a question. Other parts of this, you see I put hashtags in there. You can see other kind of things I did. Here's a full post I did recently. I'm tagging people in there. I'm putting lots of really juicy content. I'm literally making the video crystal clear up here, kind of giving a summary for anybody who doesn't decide to watch it, because sometimes people don't watch things, and it's okay, I get it. Trying to make sure that whatever I'm putting out is really going to be valuable for my audience. And it's worked. It's gotten me some really great connections over the years, so there is ways to do it. But I didn't put anything out till I knew who I was kind of speaking to or who I was kind of talking to. And then I tried, and then I worked on it, and it kept getting better and better. Let's see. But yes, lots of relationships, lots of years of building connections all play into this. So I want to tell you how social media is going to work for you. This is just kind of a little bit my world. Oh, here's some, if you want to see how, oops. These are how some of the people who viewed that video, so all over the world. So how social media is going to work for you? It's a way to showcase who you are, and I think you said landing page, my friend in the red. So it's a way to show off who you are, for people to see you without having met you before. It's a trust builder. It's a way to talk to new people. It's a way to facilitate your relationships. So I might not see Maura every day, but I can send her a LinkedIn message every few months and say, hey, how are you? And it's going to be fun. Because you don't get, people don't get fun messages on LinkedIn every day, right? It's a way to stay in touch and stay front of mind with people that matter to your business. You might not see them every day, but they might see that awesome thing you posted. And when I posted this video, I got lots of random phone calls like, oh my God, Shiley, what are you doing on LinkedIn? It's crazy. And I'm like, lots of hard work pays off sometimes. But it's a way to stay in touch and connect with people. So it's a little bit about that. Anything else? Like any other thoughts you want to throw in there?
Accept everyone that wants to connect with you.
I am picky about this. I don't think spamming or adding random people all the time is always the greatest thing. It does limit you at like 5,000, especially if people don't say anything to me. If nobody says, hi, nice to meet you, or here's why I connected with you. Like, I'm like, who are you? I don't know. And if they don't have something like super cool on their profile, again, having something super cool on your profile, I don't want, why am I going to talk to you? Why do I want to do this? I want to know there's some good reason to connect with you. Okay, so this.
I'm not picky on LinkedIn, but I'm picky on the other clips. Like, I don't let anyone join Instagram or Facebook, but I feel like LinkedIn, I don't mind who I connect with.
Well, it just.
Everyone.
You accept everybody? Well, hopefully cool, but I get like my friend Corey. Corey, he's a influencer. He's like a LinkedIn influencer. He's got all these views, and he keeps tagging me in videos. So I get random people from like other countries that don't really have profiles who are just like, I just want to network. I'm like, why do I want to talk to you? Like, what's in this for me? Because that person is going to be connected to me on my page. They might be viewing my videos, and I want people viewing my videos who actually can do something with it, who actually get what I'm going for. Yeah.
So you mentioned the max is 5,000, but for
I think it's 5,000.
They can go beyond that to follow.
For following, yeah, you can get followed by a lot of people. Okay. Absolutely. For sure, for sure. So,
I have a question.
Yeah, sure, go for it. Yeah, jump in.
So I do a lot on like Instagram and Facebook, and I have a blog and that stuff.
Oh, you're killing it. Oh, so you are like butterfly. I love it.
I don't do a lot on LinkedIn, but my market is like, so I'm starting a dance studio, and so it's a lot of kids, creative parents, and what I'm trying to understand for LinkedIn is where, like, how does the market shift, you know, on LinkedIn, and who's coming to LinkedIn for information versus like, you know, obviously I know who's on Instagram, I know who's on Facebook, and again, when you're on, especially, I'm sure you understand you're doing like a ton of different, and you're making posts like curated to that platform, it does take up a lot of time, so understanding kind of like, like who comes to LinkedIn that's different than other social media platforms, and is it worth my time to really be actively building that?
That is a great question. Do you want to jump in? Do you have thoughts? Go for it.
Tell you what I think.
I love that. Yeah, go for it.
So for me, LinkedIn is all of my peers and my colleagues, right?
Dancers are not on LinkedIn, that's all.
Oh, for me, it's my peers and my colleagues, and it's also people I've taught before, and so I'm really selective because I give job recommendations and LinkedIn and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I
that's
keep it
huge.
really tight, because people will contact me and say, do you know this person, can you recommend them for a job? And so I think about it as peers, and like for you, if you're in the dance industry, I would have all the dance people that you know on that, and so it's more of networking.
I love that.
That's how I see it.
I love it. I love that. I love that. I love the sharing of knowledge and resources. So I love that you shared that. Definitely, there's a way to connect with parents or families or business connections. But yeah, that's another reason why not adding everybody willy-nilly. If you're going to get randos in there and they're like, oh, do you know this person? Can you recommend them? It says a lot about you that you're connected to someone. I also use, when I look at mutual connections, it's fun to see like who knows who, because the networks in Chicago are so small that I can say, oh, she knows these 3 people, she must be in the innovation space, or this person must be in the nonprofit space, or this person must be in this scene. And it's a really great way to see who the person is. So if you have random people, no go. You're talking about your business stuff. There's ways to translate your content on there. There's a lot of reach. I would say you don't have to go nuts on it, but if you post a video, it could get seen. If you get a bunch of people engaging with it, it could get seen nicely. You wrote something, you said something else. Who's coming? So a lot of people, other people who are coming to LinkedIn are like career people, especially if you're a one-on-one solo business owner, you can find out who's working where, you can see each other, you can find out what they're really like. So in that sense, they might vet you on LinkedIn. I actually tutor math occasionally, and the dad said, oh, I actually looked at your LinkedIn before I hired you. Like, you don't know who's looking at you, but they're gonna vet you. So having something at least at bare minimum, and I'm gonna go into this, to showcase who you are on your page is gonna be huge, because they're gonna wanna know, who is this person? Can I trust them? Do they know anybody that I know? So that might be the best, at least at bare minimum, starting point for you. Does that answer some of your question?
Yeah.
If you have more, please jump in. Yes, absolutely, yeah, I love this.
Disconnect people with people.
Just a what?
After you connect with them, if it's people you don't know, can you delete or disconnect?
Absolutely, like any other platform, you can delete people. Of course, you don't want people that you don't want on there. Absolutely. Do we have another hand up here? I love this. Yeah, go for it.
So I understand the reason not to have extraneous people there, because the way you define your network helps define you. But
that's deep. Ooh.
What?
That's deep. The way, what is it? One more time, say that one. That's a great line.
The way you form your network defines you.
Absolutely.
What circles you want to be in. And so I was wondering, though, if LinkedIn's algorithm gives more credence to somebody with lots and lots of connections, or not. Is it?
That's a good one. I don't know everything. I know some stuff about the algorithm, but if you have a more tighter network, that network is going to be able to see you more. But on LinkedIn, you can get seen by other people's network a lot easier than other places. So that's a great question. I'm not 100%. If anyone has thoughts on that, please. But I think it's better to have a more concentrated audience of either people that you want to work with or people that you know and trust. At least I've made that decision to make my network, like I don't want anyone I don't have some sort of connection with on there or don't want to work with on there. That's just my own decision. But Leah, who I work with, she's got a different perspective on that, and it's in her course, and it's a whole other thing. So it's one that you kind of have to feel out, but that's a little, do you have a response or any other? I don't know.
No, that was just my primary question was, does having more connections pay off in some way? And I can see why in some ways it doesn't, but unless LinkedIn had some sort of algorithm or something that gave you more credence for having more, then there's an advantage there. So I'm just trying to.
So I'd say it's different from Facebook, because Facebook, you can sometimes get seen, like see other people's content, but not in the same way as LinkedIn. That like, let's say like there's an influencer guy, if you want to learn, like meet a really cool recruiter, I'm obsessed with him. His name is Adam Karpiak. He's like a LinkedIn influencer guy, but he's super cool, really nice guy. And if he likes somebody's post, it does a lot of magic because it gets seen to some of the people in his network, which that's a big secret. I don't know if I should say that out loud, but it helps. It helps a lot when people engage with their content and it shows it to their audiences. So even if you don't have a ton of people, if you have people engaging with it, it can show you to a larger audience. So it's a little, those are some deep nuggets. I usually don't share that with people, but there's some nuggets there. So a little bit, but there is a lot of algorithm stuff that they haven't figured out like Facebook has, so you can have really fun wins that you can't imagine. Yes?
The person's name again?
Oh, Adam Karpiak.
How do you spell his last name?
Adam, K-A-R-P-I-A-K. How do you? I have to like Karpiak. Yeah, it's K-A-R-P-I-A-K. He's on my website too. As people that I love on the internet. He's just a cool guy, and he helps a lot of people get jobs, and he's just a lovely human being.
I have one more question.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
She was just asking you a question. You mentioned something of when people. Oh, good. Something about you would see them in other places. Did you mean other social media platforms, or just?
You mean like the content? So.
Yeah, the things that the people that you connect with, you wouldn't see them in other places, is what you said. What do you mean by other places?
Oh, the people.
I'm sorry.
That's a whole other thing too. Like you can get a hold of people in different platforms a lot easier than you would on LinkedIn. No, but that's a whole other tip that I like just get jazzed. Like you can get a hold of people on Twitter really easy. That's like a whole other presentation, but Twitter is a great way to get a hold of really important people. I got a hold of a very famous comedian on there to potentially interview her for a website that I'm with. So great way to connect to people that you might not be able to get a hold of on LinkedIn or email or whatever. Random tip. Just because we mentioned it. In terms of getting seen by other people that you aren't necessarily connected with, there's a lot more opportunity right now because LinkedIn is new and they haven't figured out their game yet. So you can get seen by other people's network, and that's something that's a huge advantage of why you should get on there now. So I actually have a little nugget on that too. But before, this is kind of how I see LinkedIn. What's happening here? Give me some shout outs. What is happening here? Shout out. We have a picture. What's happening here? What do we see? Anything? Slacking off. Oh, could be. I like that. No, it's funny. They might be. They're just like, I'm on vacation. Yeah, like I'm golfing. Whatever. What other things you might see in here? Just random picture. Like, what observations do you have? Anything. There's no wrong answer.
Networking opportunities.
Oh my God, you just said the big secret is networking. It's networking. These dudes are going networking, and this has been happening for years. The going to the golf course thing. I don't have a bajillion dollars to be a member of a golf course, but they've figured something out that is really magical. Is that, they're having fun, they're playing golf, but really they're making connections while doing that. Oh, I'm having great. How are your kids? Great. How's your office? Great. We just had this big deal. Oh, I want to help you with this big deal. Whatever. Simplifying it, but they're making connections on here that are going to go beyond just the social playing golf. And how I think about LinkedIn is exactly the same way. LinkedIn is your golf course to go and talk to people that might not normally see you every single day. It's a way for you to have these conversations using the internet. And I'm saying this as someone who's made a lot of friends on the internet since I was 14 years old. You can make a lot of really cool connections online. You can join conversations. You can engage with comments. You can have this experience. So why LinkedIn now? And this is kind of what we've been touching on. So much organic reach right now, which means that you can get seen by people who don't know you. And that's, oh, we have a little sound effects. I love it. You can get seen by people who don't really know you. You can research a lot about the algorithms. There's some ways to hack that. It is useful, but it's not the only way you should be doing stuff. You want something to be based in your understanding and relationships with people. The other thing, you want to connect with really cool people. Maybe my friend over here, Anne, you probably have people that you want to target for your business. Is that right? Chances are they probably have LinkedIn profiles. And if you wanted to get in front of them more, you know what's an easy hack you can do? You can literally just look at what they're engaging with on social media and give them some love. Believe me, not everybody has their social media game going. If you love on that person's content on their LinkedIn, maybe you jump in and, Joe Schmo is the person that can hire you for stuff. I would say don't try to sell somebody, but oh my gosh, I love this post. Genuine engaging with their posts. They're gonna know you exist, and chances are they might even look at your profile. And hopefully your profile's ready to go for them to maybe at least start building a relationship in the long term. It's a stupid easy hack. I do this on Twitter. I've done this with different companies. And I don't talk about this. This is not really a focus of today, but again, Twitter, there's somebody like me who manages Twitter accounts who's literally sitting there for people to engage with whatever business we're advertising. And if you're that nice, friendly person that's liking on all of our stuff, we're gonna know you. And chances are we're social media, so we're probably very social within our company. And if you wanna try to get connected to anybody at the company, I'm not a bad person at the gate that could help you get there. So if you give us some love, just to genuinely care about whatever it is we're doing, you never know what doors that can open. That is the great idea.
Yes, I wouldn't even thought of that.
It's relationships, right? You're here for LinkedIn, but I say I'm not a, LinkedIn expert's one thing. I don't call myself that, but Leah's calling me a LinkedIn coach. I'm like, oh God. I'm a connection coach, and I use social media to do connections. So that's how I think about this stuff, and that's kind of how I look at all this. And this is something, it is a landing page for your career, so I think you said you wanted to make a website, kind of like a pre-website. They're going to look at your page, and if you've got enough stuff on there to get them engaged and connected, you can guide them through some long-term ways of engaging them for your business. Any thoughts on this? Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me know if I'm too far ahead.
Oh, it's okay. We're going to go with the flow.
To build a LinkedIn account just specifically for your business and not for you as a person?
Yes.
There is.
Yes, I would say have it is a good thing. I know we had some questions on this, so I want to address that. Okay. Having it is a good thing. A lot of what I've seen from the research is that LinkedIn doesn't really care about your business page and wants you to pay to be seen way more than other a Facebook would. They are really you have to pay to get seen through your business page. So putting a lot of effort into posting videos through your business page might not get seen as much as it does from your personal page. Now, can you share something from a business page on your own page? Sure, but you want to make sure that the text that you're using and the hashtags are really fabulous, or else no one's going to see it. So having it looks really great as an icon and as almost like a landing page, but I wouldn't put a ton of effort on posting through that page as much as you do from your own, because they're going to want to know you. Remind me your name again? Sharon. They want to know Sharon. Who's Sharon? I want to trust Sharon. What do I know about her? How can I connect with you? And they're going to look maybe to your profile more than anything to figure out who they are. Because a brand is cool, but if you're not huge, it's a lot hard to get a sense of what is going on behind the scenes. Let's see. Oh, so yes, completing your profile is going to be huge. So to do that, let's see, how are we on, what time do we got here? 12, we're good, okay. Awesome, we're going to come, so 50, awesome. Great, love it. So completing your profile is going to be huge, and to do that, I have a few examples of profiles. I was going to look at the actual LinkedIn page. This is Leah, I work with her. She's got, now she teaches this stuff. So if you look at her page, she's got all sorts of nuggets. She tells you exactly what she does for a living. She offers a 10-week coaching program, teach you how to sell, sign, consult new clients. It's awesome. It looks really great. Any other things you notice about her page that might look kind of cool, that just looking at it, any ideas of what you like? You had something back there. You got excited. You had a reaction.
I was going to say we can't really see it that
Oh.
here.
Let's see if I can get it up. I can look her up. Let's go look her up. I have it. Here, welcome to my LinkedIn page. She's going to be like, why are these people looking at me today? So can you see this a little clearer? So this is Leah's page. She's got all sorts of stuff. She uses her description here as here's exactly what I do for people. There's lots of different ways you can do that. It's very searchable, so when people are searching on LinkedIn, if that's your game, they're going to look for some of these, whatever words you put in there, they might look for. Yeah.
Descriptive sentence versus titles, or
titles are.
Some people use words, and some people I notice are doing descriptive.
It's a big one. I just changed to more descriptive, but I realized people were searching me for public speaking, so I kept public speaking in there because it's a searchable thing. I see a lot of people doing this. It's great, but I think there's certain words that are very buzz that will get more. I think just putting your title and company is like kind of, could be exciting if you're a fun company, but I don't know. This is one that I think you could apply. I'm going to show you 3 examples too, so you can kind of see what other people are doing. Yes?
So I just want to add that.
Please, yeah.
You know, for your name and like a description underneath, like you want to keep in mind that people are very mobile nowadays. So a lot of times you kind of want to put some kind of focus on what would pop up on your phone.
Love that.
So, because that's how people are going to first find you. They're mobile, they're searching, they could be on the train, etc. So you want a lot of impact on whatever fits on this little screen here.
And that's a great one. There's a nugget there, right? So the way hers is set up, we're looking at a computer, like her picture looks great. Now if you put it on a phone, this gets centered. So if you've got something important right here, you're not going to be able to see it and it's going to look awkward. So look at whatever you put in that banner and make sure it looks decent. I'm going to see if I can get another LinkedIn open. That's just linked. Oh man, LinkedIn. No, I just want to get onto LinkedIn. Okay, so she's one example. She's got some cool things. Yeah, some great examples to see. Having an image is going to be important. My first video on LinkedIn was like, damn it, get a picture and put it up there, put something up there. And because you've got real estate right there. You can do a lot of stuff. Like I've done, mine is a little nuts. I don't know, maybe you guys peeked in my profile before, but I went a little nuts. I'm not a graphic designer, but I put a little banner up here because I'm weird, but I saw someone else do it, and I was like, cool. And it looks great on a cell phone. It looks great on a screen. And I put some like fun details about myself. But some other examples. Let's go to, I'm going to show you this person's profile. Here's another one. Has anyone ever met Ari before? She's like very cool in the creative space. She's a design person. So this is how she did hers. I love the Skyline Chicago thing. I had it up for a while till someone's like, you should not put a skyline on there. And I was like, oh, but it's a good starting point if you're not sure what to throw up. But she's got what, yeah? Skyline. Yeah, some people like to throw that up there, which is kind of nice. It looks pretty. But one of the other things is like putting a picture on there does give you connections. The same way that when someone sees me in person versus someone seeing me in a video, it's building trust with people. So that's kind of a way you can use a picture. She's got a Chicago flag. Her website's just sick. Yeah, I can show you some of that stuff, yes. Yeah, I have a question.
No, I just
or comment.
I had an offering.
Yeah, please.
At Astra Graphics on Facebook, I made a whole bunch of LinkedIn cover graphics.
Yeah.
So if somebody is like, I don't have a skyline, I don't know what to put, if they go to Astra Graphics on Facebook,
Astra Graphics.
There's a whole bunch of these extreme horizontals that I've made.
Ooh.
Just to have something.
Amazing.
It's better than nothing.
Yes, put something up there.
And plus, I really liked your thinking regarding having some text on it. So
yeah.
These I offer for anybody, so they can slap text on this.
So this is part of your service, it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So there are other platforms that are free. I actually link them in the end.
No, this is free.
Yes.
A-S-T-R-I-C-K. Asterisk, like the asterisk.
Awesome. Asterisk.
Like an asterisk is an and sign. Oh, yeah. So asterisk.
So the other thing I want to link to, and I'm going to grab onto your questions in a little bit, there are platforms that are free that people can use that can design stuff. You can design stuff using their templates and all this kind of good stuff. I actually link them at the end of the presentation, which I will give you access to this immediately, actually, in a little bit. One of them's called Canva. It's your tool to graphic design. Is that what you're going to say? Canva is great. You can design anything and it'll actually size the images for you on social media. I actually have another slide in here that has all the sizing stuff that you can look at. It's a resource you can look at after. And then there's Pixabay that has tons and tons of free images. So you can crop those and use those here. Sizing is a little tricky. This is a headache to get everything to size right on any platform, really. But Pixabay has lots of photographs. Pixabay. It's Pixabay. X-A-B-A-Y. Yep, you can write those down. I have links in here too.
And what was the first one?
Canva. Canva.
C-A-N-V-A.
Yes. Yes. So you have that. Some other things. You can look at her profile. Like you can see, like she's somebody I have a lot of mutual connections with, and it's nice to know that I know most of these mutual connections. They're not like random strangers. So her go-to approach for this was she talks about her business, that she does this design stuff, her background, and you can. And I want you to take notes. If you like something that she's doing, take a note on it so that you can utilize it later. Because I put some notes on there what you can put up, but I want you to find some stuff you like because there's a lot of options for you. She has a group called Creative Women's Co. Great speaking events. Here's some other stuff that she does. Things that she's looking for. She even put things that she's looking for right now. So that's how she painted her picture of herself. And what else? I think she put some personal details about herself in here too. She's a mentor at 1871. I love 1871. She's put lots of fun stuff in there. And you can kind of see this is something that people don't utilize. All over LinkedIn, you can actually put pictures and links on there, almost like you would a website. Use it. It's free. And you could look extra pretty on platforms.
Wait, what did she put? What are those?
See these yeah. You can click in and you can see here's a pretty picture of this whole Chicago Inno thing, right? Like you can look here, she's on a panel. Actually, I was at this event. This was an awesome event. I hope they bring it back. Fear Paradox, super cool. And I think she designed that logo too. Maybe. She designed the printouts for that. This is a couple years ago. But you can see all these things paint a nice picture of who she is. So if you're wanting to work with her, she looks pretty awesome. Any other things that you liked that you noticed based on this little preview of her page? Anything else that stands out? Oh, it went away. Any other things noted? Huh? The other one I want to show you, Nikki. I want to show you Nikki's page. Nikki, do you know Nikki? You must know Nikki. You don't know Nikki? Nikki Nigel? Nigel? Nigel, no, Eagle, like an eagle. That's how she says it. So here's what she does. What are some things that stand out to you from just looking at this? Some thoughts? And we're going to do this, you're going to do some on your own too. Any thoughts on this? Anything stand out you like, don't like, anything?
I don't like you can see the word, like your, what?
It's powerful. So yeah, hers is a little, you can't see the whole thing. And then again, if you put it on a phone, it's probably going to cover up the her part, but then she'll be there. It's her. It's her. She's the her and herful.
There's a lot of what I'm looking for, like stature and trust that she has the TEDx right there in her profile picture.
There you go. And I think that's an interesting thing because putting without seeing your face, I usually say put your face on it, but there is something that says that she's a TEDx speaker. It does look kind of cool that she's showing off who she is. And she's got colors. Now, you can't see her, but if you meet her, you'll see that her hair is actually this color. And I don't think she even knew. I told her, your hair, it's cool that your hair matches your colors. And I'm like, that's part of your deal, right? She's like, oh, I didn't notice. I'm like, how did you not notice that? She's like a bird of beauty and wonderful, amazing rock and roll, everything. So she's got some of that on there. What else does she do? She also uses these really pretty nuggets in there. She used to be a coach for people to lose weight. She lost a lot of weight, and it's a huge thing. And now she's a speaker and a motivator, and she does workshops. She wrote down what she does. Here's where she's spoken, some 2 big highlights. She's done a lot of TEDx stuff. That looks good, right? Shows her credibility. That's how she decided to do it. She put links to her website, podcasts. She hosts events. I think she probably wrote that in there. Accountability coach. She kind of put what she offers on there. But she kind of paints a picture of what she's actually like. Cool? Interesting? Any other thoughts on this? These are some examples.
Interesting. Going on other people's profiles is creepy.
Is it creepy?
It's creepy to me because they can see that you're looking at it.
I know. I know all 3 of these women, so I'm like, hopefully I think it'll be funny later when I'm like, hey.
I did it. But I copied my profile from other people.
So I actually had a presentation, a slideshow, and you're going to have a link to it of all these different profiles that I screenshot months ago, so they don't know I'm looking at it again. So I've done that. And they're like, why'd you look at my profile? And it actually started conversations. One of these guys who's he's an infographic specialist influencer on LinkedIn, oh, I saw you looked at my LinkedIn page. I was like, oh yeah, I'm actually going to shout you out and say that you have an awesome profile or blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh, how cool is that? And so he found it endearing. So yeah, it's a little looking at, but it's okay. They all know me. They're going to be surprised that they say, and it might start a conversation. Okay, I don't want to ramble on this too much, but there's lots of good nuggets in there. Anybody take some things from looking at these pages? My other profile, my other presentation. Present. Okay, anyone take some ideas from this that they might want to, things that they thought were really awesome from just looking at some profiles? Did anyone want to shout out? Yeah.
Notice the similarity between Leah and Ari. They both are premium level.
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. Yes. If it's worth it, are you asking if it's worth it? I don't have premium. I think there's certain perks that probably come with it. I think you have to decide that for yourself. I think there's a lot you can do without paying for it. If it's not, like, I wouldn't say, like, if you're going to spend money on your business, this is what you need to spend it on.
Why do people pay for it?
There's lots of different tools. Like, there's one called Sales Navigator that kind of helps you actually literally search through the database of LinkedIn really easy. For some folks, you don't get to see, nobody sees you when you go through there. Or if you're like a job seeker, you get boosted like somehow, and that people see you first if you apply for a job. I don't know how worth it some of these things are. Like, I think you have to decide for yourself. I don't know. I don't need it, and I think she even says she doesn't even need. You don't necessarily need it, but it's got some perks to it. Yeah. So some other nuggets in there before we jump in, because I want you guys to all work on your profiles too. My header?
Yeah.
Oh, I put like your GPS to like guiding people on social media. That one actually, I just literally revamped my profile like the other day, like last week. Your GPS defining ease, accountability, and fun, ease, and accountability doing your own social media. I take all feedback. So if you look at my profile and you're like, Shiley, you've got too much on there. I'm like, I know. But if you always have feedback, I literally changed a name of my thing last week because somebody who I know and trust was like, you should change your name. And I was like, sure. It took me 5-10 minutes to do. So I don't know. This is kind of my crazy profile. I got an article that got a bunch of views. It gets seen by folks. This is kind of nice. You get, if you post any, like even just one article, this kind of pops up and populates this part of the page. Otherwise, it just shows who I've commented with. So Catherine Johns, I was engaging with her stuff. She's coming up all over. But now I have this real estate back where I actually put a little thing about explaining what I do. This actually just posted this the other day. Did really nicely. So that's something you can do. I would say put an article in there at some point.
Are you on this every day?
Am I on LinkedIn every day?
Do you post every day?
No,
So
but other people do. How much to post?
How's your activity?
Oh God! So
Do you only post once a week, or you don't even do that?
So here's what it is. This is kind of more of the social media talk here. Is that to do social media well, you want to be consistent. So I tell people like, you know what? Yes, posting maybe 3 times a week on Instagram could be kind of cool. But like, if you don't have 3 awesome things to post on Instagram, that's also not so great. But if you can have, basically the whole magic sweet spot is having tons of amazing content that you can post very regularly. But making content takes a lot of time and effort and headache, which is why I never said this is my platform till literally LinkedIn, because I'm so careful about it and probably a little crazy because of how much I think about social media. But you have to make enough content that you can do consistently. So for me, I've decided to put my money into spending time making these LinkedIn videos. And I spend anywhere from like 5 hours to like 20 hours making just one of these posts. When it comes to editing, you see I have a recorder here. I have to put all these videos together, everything. It takes a lot of work. And if maybe you're a person who writes articles, and I think I have a few slides on this later, if you can come up with something really awesome that you're really proud of, if you can do that regularly, great. If you're not sure, I hoard a lot of my content. I have a Google Drive of all, I guess this is a good tip for y'all too. I like hoard all sorts of things I write, not everything I've published, because I just don't know what I want to do with it yet, but maybe in 6 months I'm going to need an article and something in there is going to spark. So I don't always know what to talk about, but one stupid hack that I use. Who's in Facebook groups here? Anyone in Facebook groups? Okay, so a lot of you. So Facebook group, people ask questions, I'm struggling with blah, 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 blah. And sometimes you're an expert on whatever they're struggling with. So whenever I answer a question in there, I usually just save that answer and put it in a folder, because I'm like, oh, this is a free prompt on something that someone's having a problem with that I can publish later. So saving all those answers I write on social media can actually turn into something later. Because for me to think of something, I have to be creative this week, well, I might not have an idea this week, but maybe 6 months ago, I had something that might be useful, and you can come right back to it later. Is that helpful? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's so easy. When I say stupid, I'm like, it's just, there's simple things you can do that are just not hard. How are we doing on time? 12:55. I want to jump in. On. Okay. Yes, you have a question?
A scheduler like Hootsuite or something else.
Ooh. So LinkedIn, I don't know what LinkedIn's got going on, but from what I'm hearing from other people, that schedulers for LinkedIn hurts your reach. So same with Instagram, certain schedulers, like Hootsuite has been told like you can't, like it doesn't help you, like it ruins your like potential on there. It's like, it depends on like who's partnering with LinkedIn, who's doing it officially, who's not, lots of technical things. Also Hootsuite, a lot of social media people are not happy with Hootsuite right now. But there's Sprout Social, which is local, and I've done a lot in their office, and Sprout Social is one of them. There's free. There's no free on Canva. So a Buffer has free though.
No, they took that away completely, and it's
both of them
level is 99
for Sprout. But Buffer also had
like last week.
Last week, really?
I was like researching which one I wanted to go with.
Buffer had a free one and should always have a free one. From how my experience with Buffer as a company, Buffer is another one, and I'm just I don't know if you can see my laptop, but I am definitely a Buffer crazy person. Like I love their company. Like I'm obsessed. There's another one that they do social media management. And honestly, this is something great. If you really want to deep dive in social media, their content is absolutely freaking nuts. I want to give you time. Maybe I'll survey the room. Do you want some time to like sit down for like 10-ish minutes to like hack your profiles right now? Or we can do more of this kind of Q&A stuff. But I want to make sure you can actually, is anyone adjusting as we're going here? Not so much. Do we want to pause for a few minutes and do some, I'm looking at your faces here. Oh my God. Because I have some Q&A time built in. What about feedback from somebody else in the room?
So okay, we'll go back to a question. So what do you suggest? Because I was going to do Hootsuite, and I need some kind of schedule because I will never post anything otherwise.
So Instagram, there's one called Tailwind that's great. Tailwind, and so that one, oh God, this is a social media presentation now. This is a hashtag, just to use their hashtag tool without even posting through them on their free trial is like amazing. Use their hashtag tool. Just you don't have to actually pay for it to use it. Just copy those good. That's a whole other speech. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to lose track. There's so many good things.
Wait, can we go back to Hootsuite for
Yes.
a second? I'm just
People are not happy with them.
I recently shifted over to them, and I do feel like, well, there's two things.
Customer
One,
service is rough, from what I understand.
Like, obviously, hashtags are a really big deal, and I like to put the hashtags on Instagram into the comments
Sure.
section. But I haven't found a way that you can do that for free.
Tailwind has it.
Tailwind, you can do
Tailwind
that?
lets you post 30 times for free, and then you have to pay for it.
Put the hashtags
In the first comment.
not on your post.
Yeah, you can do even divide some of them on your post and some of them not on your post. But that's a whole other. They're really nice for Instagram, and they're like the big official partner.
Because I also feel I've been posting like manually my own self for like a while, and I do feel like from the automated I've lost like a ton of traction.
Yeah, that's a real big problem.
Does that happen with Tailwind too?
Well, Hootsuite's getting a lot more shadow ban. Like I have another account that somebody I'm working with is managing, and she's getting blocked by Hootsuite all the time. So just it's being like people are talking about it in the social media world. It's like.
Why don't people like it?
So is Tailwind going to do the same thing? Is it just the automated approach?
Tailwind is like the all-star. Like they have the best relationship with Instagram, so Instagram likes them. So that's also a big player.
Who's paying who to be free, and Hootsuite's probably bad. And
Yeah, and just I've heard terrible customer service stories about Hootsuite.
Doesn't cater to Facebook.
Not so much. It's more Pinterest and Instagram is where they're killing it.
And what about for like Facebook?
I like Buffer, but you can also schedule within Facebook, and it's not so bad. And they like that more, but it's not the worst case if you schedule it. And Tailwind, you can actually organize your future Instagram posts too, and it's really nice. Are you getting? I want to look at your face. Are you getting information that you can capitalize after the session, or do we? I want to because I have time built in. If you want to work on with each other right now, is that some other group was like, we don't want that. Do you want more of this Q&A, more discussion? Okay, great. It's cut. Fantastic. I want to go with the room here. Yeah, that's.
We can make an appointment with you, right?
Do you want to volunteer? We can volunteer somebody if you want. Do we want to volunteer someone to get feedback today? It's a free freebie session. Do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, who are we looking at? How do we spell it? With a K?
K-R-I-N-G.
Wait, Karen.
K-A-R-E-N-K-R-I-N-G.
Let's go look real.
There it is.
Let's see what we got. You sound very proud of it. Are you very proud of your page? Oh, interesting. Your circle's like somebody. Oh. Well, I can see the design magic here. Let's see what you got. Oh, look at that. You put your email in your thing. It looks like it's coming off really weird on here.
Yeah.
There we go. What else? What else do we?
They only give you so much space there, so I left it there anyway.
So if you're sneaky, you can sneak your. Well, actually, you probably couldn't do it there. Okay, you've linked the pictures. What other thoughts do we have? Here's our bio. Any thoughts that we have on our bio over here?
I think it might be long.
It's okay to utilize the space. It's how you organize it.
Yeah.
So I noticed you put a lot of what? These are like testimonials?
Yeah.
Okay, so you put testimonials on there.
Put them up high. I'm a job coach. That was her idea, which is to put some of the testimonials up higher, especially regarding the job that I'm looking for. Currently, I have a strategic media consultancy that I am looking to go in-house, and so
Got
I'm
it.
working on.
Do you want some nuggets? Do you want some feedback on this? So unless somebody else wants to jump in and has some nuggets initially, I would say, look, you've got all this really great information. I love testimonials. I think it takes a lot of effort to get them, so just having them we can do a lot with it. I don't know a ton about who you are, and one of the things that I believe in most is that you're trying, like, business is about making personal connections, and I didn't really talk about this with the other profiles. How are you making connections with people? All I know is what you do professionally, but like maybe we have some weird hobby in common. Maybe we both like the same kind of animal. Maybe we like something cool. Like whatever.
Would you put that at the top? Or
I used to put it more at the top. I don't know if the order, and there's probably people who will say some order stuff. Like they'll say like, okay, you should be talking about like what you saw for people immediately. Like Leah does that. Sometimes it's like, here's what my background is. It depends on who you're kind of speaking to. But I always like to say, put a personal nugget in there. Like one person I worked with, she's an interior designer, and I had no idea she studied zoology in college. I was like, you studied zoology? Like, really? Like, why aren't you talking about this? I had another real estate agent, and apparently she used to do marketing or something like that, or advertising for the Bulls. I was like, you think I'm not going to want to start talking to you about that? Like, I saw that, and I asked her about it when we were meeting up. I was like, that's so cool. So finding some personal things, and this is one of my tips I was going to say later, putting some personal nuggets in there kind of helps paint a picture. So when I do mine, I talk about the fact I'm Persian Moroccan. Like people don't know a lot about that. And somebody I worked with brought that up during an interview, and they're like, Shiley, like, oh, you're Persian Moroccan? I used to date a Persian guy. Oh, how cool is that? And that made the conversation so much easier. A colleague at that company, I told her, I was like, find something you connect with, because if you're on the phone, it's different than just being with a stranger. Maybe you both worked with a similar contract. Like there was a big company that I happened to work an event for, and this person that I was talking to, like a customer, like happened to work for that company. I was like, hey, I saw you did this company. I actually worked an event with them. It automatically makes you like a real person. Because I can't like picture what you're like just reading this. Like this is a lot. Like they don't even know what they're hiring you for yet, and you've got all of these really great nuggets. There might be a place for all this. There are.
But this job coach I have advised me to put a few of them up high, especially the ones that were especially targeted for what I want.
And maybe that makes more sense for what you're trying to target, but I put more personal in there, just a little bit more about you.
I can do that.
That would, if anything.
What is that section where all the text is? What's that?
This is the summary section. So this is your profile.
Okay.
And I can actually show you what this looks like to edit it. Why is this? Oh, LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn. No. Oh, man. I have this all dandy. You can actually, I'll show you what this actually looks like, because there's, do you want to say a little bit more about how this all plays out? How are we doing on time? 104. 104, am I doing okay? Is it up? Let's see. So you can edit everything here. Ooh. Let's see. No, we're okay. This is perfect. We're perfect timing. I'm more worried about that. Y'all are fantastic. So yeah, you can edit everything here. I don't let, sometimes LinkedIn asks you, do you want to tell your whole network that you updated your profile? And I'm like paranoid. I'm like, no. But like that can get you some reach, but make sure that your page looks awesome before you do that. I put all these details in there. Oh, filling out your profile is going to be huge. People don't fill the whole thing out. LinkedIn likes that and will give you more reach. Usually there'll be a big notification, fill out your whole profile.
You can't get anybody's contact information unless you are connected to them, correct?
Yeah.
Kinda.
There's like a public profile, so you can search people.
Yeah, unless you
Like when
hid
you go
it.
for a job, they go and look you up on LinkedIn.
Right.
You mean contacting them, getting their email?
But I don't think that they can go into the place where it says contact information, and unless they're connected to me, I don't think they can get my contact information.
Right, unless you make it public.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I'll double check that.
And the other thing, what was I going to go with on this? Oh, I was going to tell you something juicy about connecting. Oh, you can potentially see people's emails. I don't recommend it, being sneaky about it, but there are softwares that will pull out their email somehow from your LinkedIn. Those exist. It's very questionable, but they exist.
Well, couldn't you just Google and show them pop up like that, right?
You could, but if they're in like a very like high, like where like 1 billion salespeople want to get their attention, they're probably not going to make it easy for them to find their email. So that's where if they happen to have a Twitter, it might not be a bad place to tweet them because you're going to look way more interesting because nobody's doing that. Twitter's great. I have so many other, that's a whole other presentation of how to do that. But put in your nuggets. I put in a little link on there. Anyway, there was a question. I hope I answered it. This is sort of Q&A also, by the way. This is a little more Q&A time. I do have some, this is my other slideshow. Okay, let's see.
I was wondering is if people here had something that specific that they did on LinkedIn or in social media that blew up. Like they did this thing and all of a sudden they connected with so-and-so and connected with so-and-so. And
I wish there was a magical unicorn that just made everybody's career in one shot.
Yeah.
The viral thing is not something you should be aiming for.
Right.
But
Shiny had a video that had 7,500 views.
Cool.
yeah.
Okay.
There are algorithm hacks that you can do to get you seen more, but at the same time too, just having the algorithm alone isn't strong enough, and just being like super interesting is valuable, but isn't necessarily everything. Just writing articles is interesting. It's kind of comprehensive. These videos were relevant to the people that I was speaking to, and people that I know, because they know me, put me up there. And I've spent my life building relationships with people that would give me this kind of opportunity today. If I post something on my Facebook, I know people are going to look at it, so I don't want to post crap on there because I want Facebook to keep showing them the good stuff. Same with LinkedIn.
So something I could offer.
Yeah,
I'm
please.
looking for more examples like this, which is my job coach suggested that I make friends with recruiters on LinkedIn because I'm looking for a job, and then after I make connections with them, I sent out a message that said, given that you're a recruiter, maybe you have some advice for me. I'm looking for these kind of positions. All advice appreciated.
So,
and I got
yes.
a nice response to
Great.
that.
Amazing.
And I'm in.
You're genuine, right? You're genuine, you're being real.
Genuine, yeah.
Amazing.
And
Are you making each message personal?
I'm using their name early, you know.
Are you looking at their profile and specifically referencing any? This is just a hack. This is nothing for you. This is for everybody. Like, are you looking at their profiles? If you're messaging someone, do you look and see what they have on there? Again, this whole human connection thing.
Yeah.
Because especially like I'll tell you, Adam Karpiak, like he's very generous with his time, but people waste his time all the time because people message him, and he tells me this. He's like, people message him and they're like, or like they say they expect him to give their time. So acknowledging that people, have their time is valuable. Acknowledging that you even gave a junk looking at their profile. Like I get all these requests and I'm like, I don't know you. Unless you're like somebody that looks like they can open a door for me, like I don't know why you matter to me or why you even came to my page. So I sometimes even just, and this is another one of my tips, is just say hello to anybody in a friendly, non-salesy way. It gives them permission to ask you questions that they didn't realize they wanted to ask you. So this can work on Instagram, this can work on Facebook, this can work anywhere. And I guess I have another slide, another presentation about this. I have a workshop that I do, and I don't advertise a lot on Facebook, but somebody random liked the page, and I said, hey, thanks so much for liking our page. I see we have a mutual connection. How did you find my page? It's like, well, so-and-so was raving about you, so I added you. And so we ended up having this little conversation. And now that was fine and just let it go. But 6 months later, we were both at the same barbecue, and it made that initial conversation when we met in person for the first time so much cooler. And guess who was the first person to buy a ticket for my event the year later? She was the person. And you never know how that's going to happen. And in business, it's so much about the long-term relationships. So saying that initial hello gives them permission to kind of ask you what they forgot to ask you, because they might not look at your page ever again after that first moment. And I can tell you this for a fact on Facebook, people are not going to look at your page. So if you're inviting everybody to your page immediately before you've actually put anything on it, you're wasting a massive opportunity. You want to be able to like literally guide the people you want to work with using your profile. Does that sound exciting? Yeah, we have some questions. And I want to make sure everybody gets a voice in here too. So if somebody hasn't asked a question, I would love to hear from you as well. You're awesome though. I want to hear all your questions. Great. Everybody.
One thing that really helped me. So when I was doing the launch of my business, I created like a really cool dance music video that was really, really fun. And one of my really good friends is a big social media person.
Yes.
As you guys know, like what I found, I did a video earlier and it really hadn't done very well. And so this time around, what I did, I threw like a launch video party, and I invited a ton of my really good friends. And what it did was that it got everyone super excited about it.
Yes.
Like, everyone was there, and we talked about the importance, and that the best thing you can do is for free to post. And so it gave me this army of people that were already behind it, and that really actively shared. And so,
your real relationships, right?
Well, and I did a lot of contacting people that would be related to the video, way in advance, so when it did come out, it did really well. It did really well. Cool.
And you probably sent them a lot of love for doing that, right?
Honestly helped a lot, because I had done another really cool video earlier, but I kind of hoped that
magically it's going to happen? No, you get your friends to get excited about it, right? You get somebody to share it. You ask them. This is relationships, right? It's like, can I ask you, can you post about my thing? Are you down for this? You got it. It's all of those relationships, right? If you didn't have the connections IRL, would that have worked?
And honestly, putting them together in one space gave them all that extra excitement too, versus just asking them.
Can you show us how to do your banner?
The little line? I just did that yesterday. It's editing your photo and just putting it in there on Canva. Yeah, it's like you make an image and you can kind of graphic design it on Canva or something like that, and you have to size it. It's a whole headache. I do want to start wrapping this. I have some closing things. So here's some random nuggets that we have about the presentation. Things that you can include in your profile, what do you preach about your working environment? What's something you enjoy doing? What are some areas you know a lot about? Some people literally, I've seen, put their target audience, for real estate agents, I do this. For graphic designers, I do this. And they literally explain what their service was. It can look different for everybody, who you want to work with, who your target audience is. You can literally share with what the problem is that you're trying to solve for your audience, which I just did. I'm like, here's my exact audience. Here's what I solve for them. Who do you help? Fun things you love to do. I love when people find out about my crazy, weird hobbies. If you want to know random, cool, interesting stuff about me, how I was randomly on a Netflix show, or how I got 40,000 hits on a Snapchat story a bunch of years ago. Lots of crazy stories. But you can find out really fun nuggets about people, and it makes you so much interesting because I'm tired. There's so many generic profiles. I'm like, you're cool. Don't be boring on LinkedIn. They're going to look and they want to know something exciting about you. Banner image, key, don't be generic. To tell stories. Actually, this is a random one. I don't know how many people look at it, but in my actual job descriptions, I put stories from those experiences, like how I used Twitter to get somebody an autograph at a big conference. You can do it. You can get a hold of people. And it's a fun nugget. Or how I got a family that was all vegan in a very barbecue-filled place to get a vegetarian burger when they couldn't figure it out for themselves. I put those stories in there. You never know who's going to look. Okay, what else? I do want to wrap this up. Just to kind of give you some slides in here. You can get all of this. I will give it to you. It's going to be instant. I have a bunch of LinkedIn profiles that I like. I put them all in a slideshow. So you can see that when you get this. Really great examples for you to do. So it looks like you might do some of this at home, but hopefully you're hacking away now. Q&A, we did some of that. Some examples of what to post. We didn't talk about this a ton. Show your progress, quotes, articles, stories, things that are valuable to your people, different problems you face. Maybe you have an emotional thing you want to share, videos from other places that you really like. Curating content is one of my specialties on social media. So that can also be an easy way to do stuff without having to write. And then do's and don'ts. Yeah, be personal when you're talking to people. Paint a picture of yourself. Don't add anybody without a personal message, and make it specific and special, because I love that. That's my own pet peeve. If I don't know why I should care about you, I'm not going to care about you. Connect with something personal in there. And I have let's see, what else? Here's some reviews. So we talked about getting your profile all set up. Social media is about relationships. Say hello to people online. LinkedIn is your internet golf course. This is kind of a review of what we just did. Yes, your profile is going to be seen by people that you want to work with. So put yourself in front of those people, whether that be commenting on the posts of people that you want to work with or you want to hire you, engage with their stuff, and have fun with it. Heck, you can even, if you really wanted to, if you send me a very nice personal message on LinkedIn, I might even add you, and it'll be a whole funny thing. And have fun. I don't want you to hate social media. It's a way for you to talk. It's a way for you to do this without having to leave the house. Like, how great is that? Anyway, what we can do together. Oh, iCache. If you want to do a little bit more in depth, I do offer a one-on-one session where I will look at everything that you do on social media, give you kind of an overview, what works, what doesn't, and then sit down with you for 2 hours to really pinpoint one specific thing that you want to learn. That is something that I do. If you're my unicorn that's looking for that, you can reach me after the thing. Lots of accountability. I check in with you every month to make sure you're doing everything well, to answer any of your questions and beyond. It's a $3 million value because I thought $3 million was a nice number to throw out there. I think it's hilarious. $3 million, and people who know $3 million is a lot of money. No, so I put that on there. And also, I'll love on your own social media posts, so that's something I do. So if that's something you're curious about, you'll find me and you'll let me know. I like to offer these things to the community, doing these workshops, so put a little nugget about me. Yes, and then what else? These are all links and resources. This donut thing is like all social media people laugh at this. It shows you basically what you should say on every platform. It's almost really funny. I feel like I need to show it to you if I can link it. This is just cute. Social media people love this. It's a little outdated, but it's hysterical. So it's a donut, and it's just what if you're a donut, this is how you would post on all these platforms. So LinkedIn, my skills include donut eating. On Twitter, I'm eating a hashtag donut. Facebook, I like donuts. Instagram, here's a photo of my donut. It shows you kind of everything you do on every platform. Fun. I link to Canva on here. The best sizes to do descriptions, tutor.com. I get all my text proofread, and I don't pay for it because the government does, and it's great. Tutor.com, but you have to go through your local library. That is a very massive tip. Tutor.com. Here, I'm gonna give you all of this in a minute. I will. If you do one little thing for me, I'll give you this whole slide. It'll be in your hands immediately. Tutor.com. Look at if your library has it as a subscription. That's kind of the best way to go get it. And sometimes it's free. All my social media links are in my link tree, my email, my website. You can actually go shai.ly and you can find me. I bought that domain because I thought it's my name. It's awesome. So all sorts of resources there. Oh, this. So you can do this on a computer. You can do this with your phone. I would love your feedback for all this. And in exchange for your feedback, which I'm going to do a couple minutes here, you will get an immediate link to this slideshow. So what I ask you to do is either QR code this or type this URL exactly with the capitals in the place and fill out this survey. It's very short. Any feedback you have about my presentation style is something that I'm personally really excited to hear. So the more you can share, I appreciate it. I'm going to love on you back, and I definitely read all of these. Anything that was a highlight for you, anything that would be useful to share with me. And I don't do anything crazy with your email. I'm very strategic on the fact that I don't have an email list, but I'm trying to make it awesome. So if I do utilize your email for an email list, I'm going to be very respectful of it. No spamming, nothing. You can give me a fake one. I love a real one, but totally up to you. No judgments. Is everyone finding this okay? It's bit.ly/feedback with a capital F, feedback RT, capitals.
Mine's in Spanish. Why is that?
Yours is in Spanish? Is your thing in Spanish? So there's one that says an email on it. It'll say email, so just try to take a guess on that. And then you can also scan this QR code. If you open up Snapchat or if you open up your camera app, you should be able to scan that, and it'll take you to the same place. Cool. I'm going to give it a minute. It's not working? Okay, great. Yeah, if you just hover over it. How are we doing on time? Let's see. What time do we have here? Usually I put my phone out. 1:20. The what?
What does RT?
Oh, it's just some letters just to make sure to differentiate the hashtags. What time is it? Let's see. Yes.
Romanish tours?
The QR code works perfect.
Great, awesome. QR code. You have to put feedback, the capital F and the capital RT.
Maybe that's my problem.
Yeah. Try that. The QR code works too. I appreciate it. I love the feedback. I've gotten a lot of good ideas from this. I want to make this extra awesome for every group that I work with so that other folks that you might actually meet one day will also get an even better experience. Yes? Oh, it's okay. Thank you for filling this out. So, yes?
If you guys haven't already, you can actually personalize your LinkedIn, what do we call like your link?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yes. So your handle, right? Linked. It's. Oh, I love that you said that. That is a huge one. People miss that. So it's linkedin.com/in/bleh. So it's you. If it's your full name, great. But most people have their name and a bunch of gibberish numbers.
How do you do that?
You have to go in. Yeah, there you go. You know where it is? Yeah.
Oh, just go in your settings and I forget. I did it a long time ago.
Exactly.
There's a great YouTube video out there. If you
Perfect.
just Google that, it'll be easy to follow.
Can you repeat that again?
So it's your URL. It's making sure that, like, for this URL, like, if I gave you the real link and gave you, like, 100 numbers, it would just be intimidating. So you can actually pick whatever your line is for your LinkedIn. So my LinkedIn is linkedin.com/in/Hakimian45, which is my handle on, like, every social media platform.
But how will anybody else do it?
What do you mean?
You just go in your settings that we said, right?
You Google it. They'll search you on LinkedIn, and that's how they find you. But if you want to say, oh, check out my LinkedIn, and you want to type it really fast, instead of having to go copy and paste your link and paste it in an email. Does that make sense? Maybe talk to me afterwards. I do want to wrap this up. You guys, how's the survey? You still jumping in on the survey? People finished it? I appreciate you doing the survey. That helps me so much. Oh, oops. This dude might look a little familiar because we have the same face, from what I understand. This is my father. He works literally next door. He's a jeweler. He buys estate jewelry from people, from everyday people, and he sells it as well. That's his business. And we're in the Diamond District. We're still in the this is the Diamond District also, this building, right? We're in the Diamond District. So I want to tell you about him, because he's actually a social media influencer. My dad is a social media influencer, but on WhatsApp, right? It's like, who's heard of WhatsApp? I want to see hands. Who's heard of WhatsApp? Okay, who's using it regularly? Anybody? I got three-ish. He's going to love that because he thinks everybody's on WhatsApp. I'm like, nobody's on WhatsApp in this country. It's crazy. So he uses WhatsApp to stay in touch with all of his jewelry buddies. That's their platform. They're buying and they're selling literally based off of a picture. It's crazy. So what he did, and now he didn't know this was going to happen, is that, and he's been in business for like 35 years, he took all of his best business contacts and put them all into a very, very highly vetted WhatsApp chat room so that they can all now start buying and selling from each other. Crazy, right? So why, and a lot of other people try to do this, but they don't really do it as well. Why does his work? He spent years, 35 years, building relationships with these contacts. He knows them, he trusts them. And in jewelry, you have to trust people, because just looking at this picture, do you want to buy a piece of jewelry off of a picture? No, but sometimes that's what you have to do in this business. It's very high trust. So you can buy and sell literally on WhatsApp just based on a picture and someone's reputation. So every single person in his group is vetted. If somebody screws somebody else over, they're out of the page. And now this group has literally made entire careers for people. There was a young guy that apparently wanted to come kiss him on the hand at a wedding because him being in this chat room literally opened up his career. So what does that have to do with you? I'm not telling you I'll go on WhatsApp tomorrow, but the big thesis of everything I do on social media is it's about those relationships. Your relationships with your business contacts, your people, your network are going to play a huge part in this, because he didn't know 35 years ago that all those relationships would make him a success on the internet. And the relationships will transcend no matter what social media platform will be out today, tomorrow, next year. So if you can keep those connections tight, that's going to change everything. And maybe you'll be Chat Master Freddy, like my dad over here. Is a very cool guy. So I want to share with you that. And it's a little bit of story. And then this is the big secret, right? Social media is about the people, not about your business. Provide for the people, and the people will provide for you. It's absolutely true. So with that, I want to give a big, big thank you for Women Business Development Center and Mora for bringing me in today. I'm going to give women all sorts of everything. This is where you can find me. And I'm not done just yet. I want to do, ooh, good, perfect, we're a little early, even better. The last thing I want to do, and by the way, there's more slides in here about all sorts of social media stuff that we didn't talk about today. Lots of slides, for things that are really cool. But before we end on this, I want to see how everyone else is doing. And I didn't mention this, but I would love everyone to put in a few words today. But how are we going to do this efficiently with time about to run out? I want every person in the room, if you're comfortable, to share one describing word about how you feel right now as a result of the session. It could be absolutely anything. You can borrow each other's words. I don't know why people are like, I'm possessive, it's my word, you're stealing it. You can have the same word and it's okay. But I want you to share one word about how you're feeling right now. Does anybody want to start describing word? Yes?
Well, 2 words, more informed.
More informed. Amazing. Great. Do you want to go behind you? Maura, you want to go?
Enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic.
Go back and look at my profile.
Do it.
Change something.
Holler at me. I'll look. I'm curious.
Add something personal.
Add something personal, right? And it's something that you're comfortable with sharing, right? Yes. Do you have one word?
I'm gonna copy.
Sure. Awesome. Enthusiastic. Awesome. Yes.
Enabled.
Enabled. Yes. Awesome. Determined. I love it. What about over here?
Relevant.
Relevant. Oh, good. I love that. Yes.
More confident.
More confident. Yes, you can do it, everybody. More confident. Yes. Over here?
Guided.
Guided. Oh, good. Great. I'm glad. The Sherpa thing, the guiding, I think it's coming through here. Great. Yes.
More insight.
More insight. Good. I'm glad. Yes, over here. Oh, good. That's good. Keep working. Keep working. Working hard. I'm going to just say that. Working hard. Over here. Excited. Yes. And for me, I'm appreciative that I get to spend my time with you today. So thank you all for being here. I will stick around, and I will talk to you very soon.
Thank you.
Yay.